The rain fell hard on the rusty roof of Eli's farmhouse. It was late evening. The sky was dark, and the wind howled across the empty fields. Eli Ward sat on the wooden porch, holding a hot cup of black coffee. His gray jacket was wet, but he didn't move. He liked the rain. It helped him forget. Forget the war. Forget the screams. Forget her Kale. Ira? He hadn't spoken her name in years. Not out loud. Not even to himself. She was a memory he kept locked away, a golden-eyed alien. Princess with silver hair, soft voice, and a warrior spirit. 10 years ago, he saved her from death, and for a short time they were everything to each other. Then she left, disappeared without a word. No message, no sign, just gone like smoke in the wind. He waited. He hoped he dreamed she might come back. But dreams lie. That's what war teaches. Eli sipped his coffee and looked up at the storm clouds. He was 35 now, a retired soldier. No medals, no fame. Just a scar across his chest and nightmares that never stopped. The peace treaty between humans and Valkyrie had held for now. But peace didn't mean trust. Most humans still hated aliens. Most Valkyrie still looked at humans like animals. Eli didn't blame them. Too much blood, too much loss. He closed his eyes and breathed deep. Then he felt it, a low hum in the air. A sound not made by wind or thunder. His eyes snapped open. A glowing light appeared in the sky. Bright blue, controlled, not lightning. A ship, and it was landing. In his field, Eli stood slowly. His hand went to the old blaster hidden behind the porch door. His soldier instincts kicked in. Calm breath. Sharp eyes, fast steps. He walked down the porch, across the muddy grass, and toward the light. The ship was sleek, silver, and silent, not human-made. He knew the design Valkyrie. His heart beat faster. The ramp lowered with a hiss. Steam poured out from the sides. Eli aimed his blaster. Show yourself. Footsteps echoed on metal. A figure stepped into view. She was tall, graceful, wrapped in a dark blue cloak. Her silver hair fell over her shoulders, wet from the rain. Her golden eyes glowed like 2 stars in the night. Eli froze. His voice cracked. Kalira, she stepped forward, her lips parted. Eli, it was her, older, tired, but still her. The same voice, same face. He lowered his weapon. His hands shook. You came back. Kalira nodded slowly. Had to. Eli took a step forward, confused, angry, and stunned all at once. You left me. 10 years, Kalira. No word. Nothing. No. She said quietly. I'm sorry. I wanted to come back. But I couldn't. Not until now. His mouth opened. But no words came. Then he noticed something. 2 smaller figures stepped out of the ship behind. Her children, a boy and a girl. They looked no older than 7, dressed in light armor, holding hands. Both had pale skin like hers, but their eyes were human, deep green, like Eli's. The boy tilted his head, curious. The girl clung to Kalira's cloak. Eli stared at them. Then he looked at her. Kale Ira spoke gently. They're ours. The words hit him like thunder. He took a shaky breath. What? I was pregnant when I left, Kalira said. I didn't know until after. I tried to come back, but everything changed. My people turned against me. I had to hide. I raised them in secret. The wind howled louder. The rain fell harder, but Eli didn't feel cold anymore. He walked slowly toward them. The boy looked up at him without fear. The girl peeked from behind Kalira's leg, curious. Kalira looked down. This is Vex, she said, touching the boy's shoulder. He nodded. Hello. And this, she smiled softly, is Lyrian. The girl whispered, Hi. Eli dropped to one knee. I don't know what to say. Kalira knelt beside him. Her hand touched his cheek. Say what you feel. His voice broke. I thought you were dead. I thought I imagined everything. You didn't, she whispered. I'm real. They're real. Tears welled up in his eyes. He laughed quietly. Woe's come in the rain. Kalira smiled. You always wait in it. They sat inside the farmhouse, wrapped in blankets. Eli made soup. The kids sat by the fireplace, warm and sleepy. Kalira sat across from Eli, watching the firelight dance in his eyes. Why now? He asked. Kalira looked serious. Gus, danger is coming. A new enemy, far worse than before. He frowned. Who? They're called the Ashkari. Ancient, powerful, they consume worlds and leave nothing. My people refused to listen, so I ran. Eli shook his head. And you came here? I came to you, she said firmly. Because you're the only one I trust, and because our children will be targets. Eli looked at the twins. Vex was already asleep, curled up like a cat. Illyrian was drawing shapes in the ash with her finger. They're different, Kalira said. Not fully human, not fully Volcari. They're stronger, smarter, and the Ashkari will want them. Eli's jaw tightened. They'll have to go through me first. Kalira smiled faintly. Blair smiled faintly. I hoped you'd say that. That night, as the storm rolled across the sky, Eli lay awake on the couch. His blaster was close. His thoughts ran wild. She came back. She brought their children, and now a new war was coming. But this time, he wasn't alone. The morning was quiet, but Eli felt the weight of the night still pressing on his chest. The rain had stopped. The fields outside shimmered under a gray sky. Birds chirped like nothing had changed. But everything had changed. Inside the farmhouse, the kitchen table was full. Kalira was sipping warm tea, her silver hair damp and tied back. The twins, Vex and Lyrian, were eating pancakes with syrup for the first time. Eli stood at the window, arms crossed, blaster still in its holster. He watched the horizon. He didn't trust peace. Anymore, Kalira's voice broke the silence. They like your food? Eli turned and smiled faintly. At least I'm good at something. They need more than food now, she said, her tone turning serious. They need protection. Eli walked over and sat across from her. Tell me everything, no holding back. Kalira looked at her children, then lowered her voice. There's no easy way to explain. The Ashkari are not like humans, or Valkyrie. They don't talk. They don't negotiate. They devour. Eli frowned. Devour what? Everything, she said. Planets, cities, DNA. They absorb life, make it their own. Grow stronger with every world they take. Eli went still. And now they're coming here? She nodded. They tracked me. Or maybe they sensed the twins. Vex looked up. They want us. Kalira turned to him gently. 'Cause you're special. Vex narrowed his eyes. Special like weird? No, Eli said, walking over. Special. Like strong. Like smart. Lyrian reached out and held Eli's hand. Will you protect us? Eli knelt down and smiled. With everything I have. Kalira's eyes met his. You'll need help. Eli stood. Then we get help. From the human side? She looked down. They may not listen. He grinned. Then I'll make them. An hour later, Eli drove his old hover truck into the nearby town of Benton Ridge. Kalira stayed behind with the twins, hidden in the basement. The town hadn't changed much. Small shops, dusty roads, and old flags still waving from the last peace parade. Eli walked into the local veteran outpost, a brick building with cracks in the wall and 2 guards by the door. They recognized him instantly. Ward? One said, You're still alive, barely, Eli replied. I need to speak to someone high up. About what? About an alien threat. Something big. Something worse than the Valkyrie War. The guards exchanged looks. You serious? Deadly? They let him through. Inside the war room, Eli met Commander Royce, an old friend from the battlefield. Bald, scarred, and still full of fire. Royce raised an eyebrow. What kind of trouble are you dragging in this time? Eli handed him a data chip Kalira gave him. It contains Valkyrie records. Enemy movement. Genetic data. Coordinates. They're called the Ashkari. Royce plugged it in. Holograms lit up the room shapes of large dark ships, twisted metal, and corrupted biology. What in hell is this? Royce asked, frowning. Not hell, Eli said. Worse, they consume everything. Royce turned toward him. And how do you know about them? Eli hesitated. Kalira told me. Royce's face turned hard. The alien princess. She's alive? Yes. And we have children. The silence was sharp. Royce stared at him. Are you out of your damn mind? They're half human, Eli said calmly. They're our future. Royce slammed a fist on the table. You brought her back here? Are you insane? You know what kind of chaos that could cause? She's not the enemy, Eli snapped. She's the warning, Royce paced. Even if you're right, what do you want me to do? Help me, Eli said. Get the word out, prepare defenses, and keep the government away from my family. Royce sighed. You're asking for too much. Eli's eyes narrowed. Then I'll do it myself. Royce looked at him long and hard. Finally, he nodded. I'll give you 48 hours. After that, I have to report this. Fair enough. Back at the farmhouse, Kalira had finished building a small energy barrier around the property using Valkyrie tech. It wouldn't hold forever, but it would slow enemies down. The twins were upstairs, playing with old human toys Eli had stored in a box. Kalira looked tired. Eli walked in and locked the door. Royce gave us 2 days. She nodded. It's better than nothing. Eli looked at her. Are we safe here? She shook her head. Nowhere is safe. He sat beside her. Then we run? No, she said. We fight. They sat in. Silence for a moment. Then Kalira whispered, I thought of you every day, Eli. He looked at her, surprised. I wanted to come back, she said. But the Valkyrie elders said if I returned to Earth, they'd kill me and the children. Why? He asked softly. Because I chose peace. Because I chose you. Eli reached out and took her hand. You don't have to run anymore. A small smile touched her lips. I didn't come to run. That night, a strange pulse echoed. Through the sky, Kalira jumped to her feet. Eli followed her outside. Above them, in the distance, a large ship hovered at the edge of Earth's atmosphere, dark, silent, watching. Kalira's face went pale. They're here. Eli's jaw tightened. Ashkari? Yes, she whispered. Yes. That's a scout ship. They're searching. Testing. Suddenly, the twins ran outside. Vex looked up. I feel something. Lyrian grabbed her head. It's calling. Kalira pulled them close. Don't listen to it. Eli stared at the ship. We have to move. Now. Kalira nodded. There's one place they won't follow. A hidden site on Earth, buried long ago. Eli blinked. Where? Deep in the forest. A Valkyrie ruin. It has old tech. Ancient defenses. I can hide the children there. Nodded, then let's go. By sunrise, they packed the hover truck and drove off-road toward the old forests near the southern ridge. Eli drove fast. The twins sat in the back, quiet but alert. Kalira watched the sky, her hand on a small plasma rifle. Suddenly Vex leaned forward. Something's behind us. Eli checked the mirror. 3 black drones hovered in the distance limb, sharp and fast. Kalira's voice was cold. Ashkari scouts. Eli hit the gas. The truck swerved through the trees, branches slapped the sides. Rocks flew under the wheels. The drones closed in. Kalira opened the window and fired. Blue bolts shot out, hitting one of the drones. It exploded in sparks. The second dove low, shooting a beam at the tires. The truck skidded but held. Eli shouted, Hold on! He drove the truck off a small cliff edge. It landed with a hard thud into a grassy basin, shielded by trees. The drones hesitated, then pulled back. They're not following? Eli asked. Kalira looked ahead. They fear what's here. Eli turned to see a large, ancient structure rising from the earth. Moss covered most of it. The metal shimmered faintly. Kalira whispered, "We're here." Inside, the ruin felt alive. Blue lights flickered. Walls hummed with energy. Strange symbols glowed under the twins' feet. Vex touched one, and it lit up brighter. Lyrian whispered, "It knows us." Kalira touched the wall. This place belonged to the first Valkyria, long before war, before even space travel. Reacts. To pure DNA hybrid blood. Eli watched in silence. "Then it's their sanctuary." Kalira turned. "For now," she looked at him. "At the center of this place is a beacon. If the twins awaken, it may protect them, or bring more trouble," Eli said. She nodded. "Either way, it's our only chance." The ancient Valkyrie ruin was deep, cold, and silent. Blue lights pulsed gently from the walls as Eli and Kalira led the twins down a curved hallway. Symbols glowed under their feet, symbols that only reacted when Vex or Lyrian stepped on them. Eli held his blaster tightly, his eyes scanning every corner. He didn't trust alien tech. Even now, after all these years, felt like he didn't belong in this kind of place, but his children did. That thought shook him. Kalira stopped in front of a large round door. Her hand pressed against a panel. It glowed, clicked, and opened. With a deep hum, inside was a wide chamber. In the center stood a platform covered in light. Small floating stones circled it slowly, like moons around a planet. "This is the heart of the ruin," she said. "It's a DNA interface. It responds to those of pure or mixed Valkyrie blood." Eli stepped inside slowly. "And if I walk on that platform?" She looked at him gently. "Nothing will happen." Vex ran past them, jumping on the platform. The stones flashed and moved faster. A low hum filled the room. "Hello?" Lyrian followed, giggling. Kalira smiled. "They feel connected here." "They are connected," Eli said softly. "To both of us, to both worlds." Lyra's smile faded. "That's why they're in danger." That night, Eli sat near the edge of the chamber, cleaning his blaster. Kalira sat close, watching the twins play with floating lights that rose from the ground like bubbles. "I never thought I'd be a father," Eli said. "You are a good one," Kalira said. "I don't know what I'm doing," he replied with a dry laugh. "I shoot things. That's my skill." "They don't need a perfect father," she said. "They need a brave one, and kind. Like you." Eli looked down. "They're strong. I can feel it." "They're more than strong," she whispered. "They're key-blooded." "What's that mean?" Kalira leaned closer. "A long time ago, the first Valkyrie believed some children were born with unique energy like living codes. They could speak to the old machines, control energy, and light, even heal wounds. The Ashkari hunt these children because they are a threat." Eli frowned. "Why didn't you tell me this before?" "Because I was afraid," she said. "Afraid you would think they were monsters." Eli shook his head. "They're my kids. I don't care what they can do." "I care what they choose to do." Kalira looked at him. "If the world doesn't give them a choice." Eli stood. "Then I'll make one for them." The next morning, the twins woke early. The ruin responded to them, opening doors, lighting paths showing ancient holograms of stars and galaxies. Kalira followed them closely. "Don't go too far. The ruin is deep. Some areas are broken or dangerous." Vex nodded. Lyrian smiled but stayed close. Eli stayed at the entrance, keeping watch. He didn't like how quiet it was outside. Too quiet, he adjusted the radar Kalira had installed. The screen blinked, and a red dot appeared in the distance. Moving fast, Eli grabbed the communicator. "Kalira, we've got company." Kalira rushed to Eli's side. "How many?" "Just one signal," he said, "but it's close." They ran up the spiral ramp to the top of the ruin. From behind a large stone pillar, Eli watched the sky. Then he saw it. A small Valkyrie ship, military class, descending fast. It wasn't the Ashkari, it was her people. Kalira's face turned cold. "They found me." Eli turned. "What do they want?" "They want the children." Silenced. Eli's voice turned hard. "Over my dead body." Kalira held his arm. That's what they expect. The ship landed near the tree line. Dust rose. The ramp opened. A tall Volcari woman stepped out. Armor, long black cloak. Golden eyes like Cholera's but colder. Kalira whispered, Commander Shalanor. My cousin. She looks friendly, Eli muttered. Shalanor walked toward them, hands behind her back. Kalira, you've been busy. Kalira stood tall. Go home, Shalanor. There's nothing for you here. You stole royal data. Abandoned your duty-birthed half-bloods. Shalanor's voice was sharp. That is something their children, Kalira snapped. My children. They are proof of weakness, Shalanor said. And a danger. Eli stepped forward. Take one more step and I'll drop you. Shalanor looked at him with disgust. This is your human, then. How charming. Clara held Eli's hand tightly. Leave now. I won't warn you again. Shalanor smiled coldly. You don't scare me, cousin. I came alone today, to offer peace. Bring the children to me. We'll give them a clean, painless end. Eli pulled his blaster. That's your idea of peace? Shalanor raised her hand, and several hidden drones flew out of the trees surrounding the ruin. Kellara growled. You lied. Said I came alone. I never said I'd fight alone. Eli fired. The shot hit a drone. It exploded in sparks. Kellara pulled Eli back into the ruin. Go. They ran inside. Vex and Lyrian were near the beacon. The lights were glowing brighter than ever. Children, Kallara shouted. To me, Vex turned. What's happening? Danger, Eli said. We need to leave now. But the beacon lit up fully. A voice filled the chamber not in words, but in feeling. Warm, ancient, alive. Lyrian's eyes glowed. It's talking to me. Kalira's voice shook. No, don't listen. But it was too late. The stones around the beacon floated higher. A blast of soft light filled the room. Vex and Lyrian stepped forward as if pulled by an invisible force. The beacon pulsed, and then a shockwave of light burst outward. All the drones outside dropped dead from the sky. Eli shielded his face. What the hell? Kellara stared in awe. They activated the heart. The lights dimmed slowly. The twins stood in the center unharmed. Lyrian blinked. Did we break it? Vex grinned. I feel stronger. Kalira stepped toward them carefully. You didn't break it. You woke it. Eli stepped beside her. What does that mean? Kalira turned slowly. It means the Ashkari know where we are now. Outside, Commander Shalanor stood frozen, surrounded by dead drones. Her eyes narrowed. She turned toward her ship, speaking into her come. They've awakened the ruin. The children are more powerful than we feared. A voice on the other. Ind replied, Return. Prepare the council. What about the princess? Leave her for now. But the human must die. Shalanor's eyes narrowed. Gladly. Back inside, Kalira and Eli gathered supplies quickly. We have to move, she said. Now, Eli nodded. Where? There's an old human Valkyrie base, hidden in the northern mountains. It was abandoned after the war, but the systems might still work. Eli looked at the twins. Can they handle more travel? Kalira looked at her children. They're stronger than we know. Lyrian walked over and hugged Eli's leg. Can we take your spaceship? Eli laughed softly. You don't have a spaceship, kiddo. Vex looked serious. We could fix one. Kalira raised an eyebrow. He's not wrong. This ruin may have one buried beneath it. Eli sighed. Of course it does. That night, as the stars filled the sky, Eli sat. On top of the ruin with Kellara, he stared upward. I used to look at the stars and think Earth was the center of everything. It's not, Kalira said softly. But it can be something greater. A home. A beginning. Eli looked at her. What if we can't protect them? Kalira turned to him. Then we teach them to protect themselves. Eli nodded. One way or another, we make sure they get a future. Kalira smiled. Together. Their fingers touched in the dark. The night was cold. Full moon hung in the sky, casting silver light over the ancient Valkyrie ruin. Everything was silent, but Eli couldn't sleep. He sat near the entrance of the ruin, his blaster resting across his knees. He had the same feeling in his chest that he used to get just before a battlefield went hot. A quiet storm was coming. Behind him, Kalira stood with her arms crossed. She watched the stars. Yeah, but she wasn't admiring the view. She was listening. "What is it?" "I lie." Asked, she answered without turning. "I feel it in the sky. It's the Ashkari are moving." Eli frowned. "How close?" "Not far," she said. "They've entered the solar system." Eli stood. "Then we need to leave." "Now," Kalira nodded. "The children aren't safe here anymore." They went inside. The twins were already awake, sitting near the beacon chamber. Strange patterns danced on the walls around them, shapes and lights that didn't exist before. Vex stood quickly. "I had a dream," Lyrian added. "So did I. Something ... huge. Dark. With so many voices." Kalira's face tightened. "They're starting to feel the Ashkari's mind." "They're communicating?" Eli asked. "They don't talk like us," Kalira explained. "They use signals, emotion, fear. They share thoughts in waves." Eli put a hand on Vex's shoulder. "You okay?" Vex nodded slowly. "It didn't hurt. It was strange. It's like something was trying to understand." Ascalita looked at both children. "They're scanning you. They want to know what you are." Lyrian looked scared. "Will they take us?" Eli knelt down. "Not if I can help it." By midday, Kellere located a hidden passage under the ruin. It led to an old hangar buried deep beneath the surface. Walls were covered in dust and old vines, but in the center sat a small, half-buried Volcari ship. Eli whistled. "That thing can fly?" Kalira smirked. "It's old, but it was made to last." She placed her hand on the ship. The surface lit up. Slowly, the dust slid off, and the engines hummed to life. "Can it carry all four of us?" Eli asked. "Barely," she said. "But it's fast. Faster than anything human or Volcari." Vex and Lyrian looked amazed. "Can we fly it?" Vex asked. Kalira smiled. "Maybe one day." They packed quickly food, weapons, medical supplies, and the data crystal from the beacon. Kalira had downloaded everything she could. Maybe it would help them understand the Ashkari better, or stop them. Eli looked at the radar again. Multiple red dots moving fast. "They've found us," he said. Kalira narrowed her eyes. "Then we don't wait." The ship roared out of the hangar and shot into the sky. Trees bent under its speed. The clouds rushed past them. The stars above became clearer. Eli sat in the co-pilot seat, gripping the sides of the chair tightly. "This thing moves like a missile." Kalira smiled. "It was made for royal escape. It's built to run." Vex and Lyrian sat in the back, wide-eyed. As the planet shrank behind them, Lyrian whispered, "It's so pretty from here." Eli glanced at Kalira. "Where are we going?" "To the Volcari outpost on the moon's far side," she said. "It's abandoned. But it has weapons. And something else." "What?" Kalira hesitated. "Signal disruptor. If we activate it, we can block the Ashkari's psychic link for a short time." Eli nodded. "Even a short time could save lives." They landed in a crater, hidden between sharp black rocks. The old outpost sat quiet and cold. The doors creaked open after Kalira entered a long code. Inside, dust covered everything. Eli coughed. "Smells like a tomb." Kalira walked forward. It was a research station during the early war, but it was sealed when the Ashkari were first discovered. Eli stopped. "Wait, you fought them before?" "Not exactly," she said. "But our ancestors did." "A long time ago? Before even our records were clear?" Eli looked around. "Why didn't anyone talk about them then?" Kalira's face darkened. "Because it's easier to ignore a sleeping monster and admit it might wake up again." They spent the next few hours fixing the disruptor device. Vex helped with the wiring. Lyrian used her strange gift to find power lines buried under the floor. "You two are naturals," Lee said, watching them. Kalira agreed. They were born for more than just survival. By evening, the disruptor was ready. Eli asked, What now? Kellera stared at the stars. Now we wait. The Ashkari didn't wait long. A ripple moved through space like a scream, but without sound. The sky outside the outpost turned dark, even with the stars still shining. A massive ship appeared. Near Earth's orbit, it wasn't built like human or Valkyrie ships. It looked alive. Its surface moved like skin. Lights pulsed beneath it like veins. It was bigger than a city floating with unnatural silence. The Ashkari hive ship had arrived. Kalira's hand shook slightly. They're here. Eli raised his blaster. Then let's show them they're not welcome. The hive ship didn't fire instead. A smaller vessel detached from its side and glided toward the moon base. They're coming for us, Kalira. Said I was hoping we'd get a minute, Eli muttered. The Ashkari scout ship landed without noise. No ramp opened. No crew stepped out. Then, the wall of the ship melted away, forming a shape. A figure stepped forward. It wasn't fully solid, its body was black and shifting, as if made of smoke and bone. Its face was a skull with glowing red eyes. Gasped. That's their speaker. Eli raised his blaster.
Ow.
Seen uglier. The creature didn't attack. Instead, it spoke not with words, but inside their heads. We have come for the children. Give them to us, and you will not suffer. Kalira gritted her teeth. Never.
Ow.
They are not yours, the voice continued. They are evolution.
Ow.
They belong to us. Eli stepped forward. Then come take them.
Ow.
Ashkari's eyes glowed brighter. Suddenly, beams of dark energy shot toward them. Eli pushed Kalira aside. The beam hit the wall, melting metal like butter. Kalira shouted, "To the disruptor. Now!" Eli ran through the hallway, dodging more blasts. The twins followed him, holding hands tightly. Kalira stayed behind, firing her rifle to slow the creature down. The hallway shook as part of the roof collapsed. Faster, Eli yelled. They reached the control room. Eli slammed the disruptor switch. A high-pitched pulse spread out from the base. Everything went still. Outside, the Ashkari creature froze. Its form began to twitch. It screamed not out loud but inside every mind present. Kalira grabbed the twins. "Run to the ship!" Eli fired at the creature's chest. The shots burned holes, but it didn't die. It just kept shifting, reforming. "We can't kill it," Kalira shouted. "We need to escape." They reached the ship. Vex helped Lyrian. Climb inside. Kalira jumped into the pilot seat. Eli followed last, firing one final shot at the Ashkari before the doors closed. The ship blasted off from the moon. Leaving the old base behind, the disruptor gave them 10 minutes of silence. After that, the Ashkari would recover. Inside the ship, Lyrian cried quietly. Eli hugged her close. Kalira flew in silence, her eyes filled with pain and fury. "They won't stop," she said. "They won't rest until they get the twins." Eli nodded slowly. "Then we don't run anymore." "What do you mean?" Eli looked at her. "I mean we take the fight to them." The ship flew through the stars, fast and silent. Kalira sat at the controls, her hands steady, but her face tense. Eli sat beside her, watching the stars move outside the window. Behind them, the twins slept, huddled close together in their blankets. They were safe for now. "We can't keep running forever," Eli said softly. Kalira nodded. "I know. The Ashkari will keep hunting us. So what do we do?" Kalira turned toward him. "We fight back." Eli raised an eyebrow. "Us? Against an empire?" "Not just us," she replied. "We have friends, allies, and now we have something the Ashkari fear." "The twins," Eli whispered. Kalira nodded. "They are the bridge between our people. And they may be the key to stopping the Ashkari forever." They flew to a secret human military outpost hidden inside a dead asteroid near Jupiter. It wasn't much, just a few rooms, an old hangar, and a powerful communications array. General Reyes, Eli's old commander, met them there. He was older, with silver hair and a robotic arm. When he saw Eli, he smiled. "Didn't think I'd see your face again, soldier." Eli smiled back. I brought company. Reyes looked at Kalira and the twins. Valkyrie, he asked. Kalira stood tall, Princess Kalira of House Valen. Reyes blinked. You brought royalty too. You've been busy? Eli smirked. Wait till you hear what's coming behind us. Inside the control room, Kalira showed the general the data crystal she took from the Valkyrie ruin. It held old records maps, memories, weaknesses of the Ashkari. These creatures aren't gods, she explained. They were created, engineered to think together. That's their strength, but also their weakness, Eli added. If we can break their link, we can stop the hive, Reyes finished. He rubbed his chin. We'd need every ship we have, and Valkyrie support too? Kalira nodded. I can call my people. Will they listen? Reyes asked. They will, she said. The princess has returned. And this time, she's not alone. For the next few days, Eli and Kalira worked nonstop. The twins helped too. Vex studied the data. Lyrian learned to use communication systems. Their minds worked quickly faster than any human or Valkyrie child. Even Reyes was impressed. They're special, he told Eli one night. More than you know. Eli looked at them, sleeping side by side. They're my family. Soon, messages flew across space, from hidden Valkyrie warships, from old human colonies, from lost outposts in the far belt. Everyone heard the same call. The Ashkari are here. Stand with us. Fight for your home. Ships started arriving. Valkyrie cruisers, human destroyers, even small independent fighter squads. The twins stood in front of them all, watching through the large hangar window. They came, Vex said. Lyrian smiled. We're not alone.
Then came the Ashkari?
Hive ship arrived again, but this time it didn't come alone. 10 more ships followed it. All black, all alive.
Ow.
They darkened the stars, their psychic scream filling the minds of every soldier and pilot. But this time, the armies didn't run. Stood ready, the battle began. Lasers lit up the sky. Human ships dodged and fired. Valkyrie cruisers formed shields. The Ashkari screamed across the void, sending waves of psychic force. Some ships fell. Others held strong. Inside the asteroid base, Kalira and Eli stood beside the twins. The final plan was ready. We have to fly into the heart of the hive ship, Kalira said. Reyes nodded. That's suicide. Eli looked at Kalira. How close do we need to get? She pointed to a small spot on the hive's side. There, the psychic core. If we get the twins close enough, they can send a wave that breaks the Ashkari link. Reyes frowned. You're risking their lives. Kalira looked at her children. They're stronger than they looked. Vex and Lyrian stepped forward. We can do it, Vex said. We're ready, Lyrian, added Dot. Eli piloted a small stealth ship. Kalira sat beside him, holding the controls steady. The twins sat in the back, hands linked, eyes glowing faintly. They moved through the battle, weaving between fire and chaos, then dashed silence. They entered the hive ship's shadow. The Ashkari didn't see them. The stealth worked. For now, Kalira whispered, this is it. Eli steered toward the core. It looked like a glowing red heart, pulsing under thick armor. Get closer, Vex said. I feel it, Lyrian added. So many voices. They weren't scared, they were focused. Then the hive sensed them. Black tendrils shot out of the walls. The ship shook. Kalira fired the plasma cannons. Lee dodged as best he could. The hive ship screamed a deep, horrible sound that echoed in their minds. Now, Kalira shouted. The twins closed their eyes. And then light. A wave of bright, golden energy exploded from their bodies. It didn't destroy. It silenced. The hive's scream stopped. Every Ashkari ship paused, and then they began to fall. One by one, the creatures broke apart. Their ships stopped moving. The black ooze dried. The psychic storm vanished. The battle was over. The silence was deep, but peaceful, back at the asteroid base. Soldiers cheered. Ships lit up with victory signals. Across the system, people cried, laughed and hugged each other. The Ashkari were gone, defeated. Eli landed the ship. Kalira stepped out first, holding the twins' hands. Raze met them with a smile. You did it. Eli looked at Vex and Lyrian. They did it. The twins looked tired but proud. A few weeks passed. The war was truly over. The Valkyrie returned to their star systems. Human colonies rebuilt. The name Ashkari became something children would hear in stories of danger, courage, and hope. Eli and Kalira decided to settle on a quiet moon near Earth. A small home, a garden, and peace. One evening, Eli stood on the porch, watching the sunset. Kaelira came beside him. You never thought I'd come back, she said. Eli smiled. I hoped. She looked at him, and now I have everything I ever wanted, he said. You them a home. Kalira leaned her head on his shoulder. Together. Behind them, Vex and Lyrian played in the field, laughing like normal children. No more war, no more fear, just family, just peace, just home.